Good morning, everybody. Brother Ed coming to you once again from Louisville, Kentucky, and this is what's really going on in the news you can use. It's all over the place now about the supply chain. There is, at this point, way too much demand and very little supply. You may not be feeling it as yet, but eventually you will, and it may not be very long. Prices are expected to skyrocket on everything. As you probably already know, they have on lumber, homes, a number of things. Even copper is going up in value. I looked yesterday, it's almost $5 a pound. Of course, that only equals up to about 28 cents an ounce, but if the trend with copper continues as it is with silver, then copper is going to actually be of more value than it has been for quite some time. We'll just put it that way. I would suggest, if you're able to afford to do so, buying fractional silver and copper. Most of us cannot afford to buy golds unless you're going to buy it by the gram, and it's still not exactly cheap. It's probably at this point around $60 or more just for a gram. But I would suggest doing that, as in, let's say, a tenth ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce, full ounce, copper and silver, if you can afford it. At this point, I'm having a hard time being able to afford on my meager income to buy silver. So I'm going to be investing in as much copper as I can and what silver I'm able to, but I'm not going to be able to invest in very much of the silver at this point, it doesn't look like. I can't speak for you or tell you what to do, but the way that it's looking, the projection is not looking good. We're even being told at this point that we could be seeing 7 years of global famine. The current situation is being described, or compared, I should say, to the biblical story of Joseph foretelling the 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine in Egypt. Of course, we've already seen, I think, our 7 years of plenty, and we're going into, as it were, 7 years of famine. And this will be global. There's too many things going on all over the world with the supply chain. We've got like 12,000 trucks, food trucks, here in Kentucky off of I-71, just sitting there, not going anywhere, because allegedly they need chips that they can't get. Same thing going on all over the country, and of course there's about a 15% shortage in truck drivers as well. That doesn't help things any. That's not to mention all of the, what do you call those things, shipping containers that are being held up in ports all over the world. That's not helping anything. There's a chicken shortage going on already. We're feeling that at Papa John's. Fortunately, at this point, only with reference to wings, but that's going to soon change. And likely we're going to be seeing a reduction in everything. So, exactly when it's going to happen, I am not 100% sure, but I can tell you this: I am definitely going to soon be bugging out, one way or the other. I'm going to talk to my boss as soon as we have a day that is calm enough to do so. I wanted to talk to her yesterday about changing my schedule completely to days. My dad cannot drive after dark because he just can't see well enough. But provided that I can get my schedule changed to all days where I don't have to work any later than 8 o'clock, then at least until fall and winter, he'd be able to come and pick me up as well as take me to work. I'm not expecting I'm going to be able to keep this job until fall. I just don't expect that. But if she can work with me on that, then I'll keep the job as long as I can. I'm fully expecting, with skyrocketing prices on everything, that very few people are eventually going to be able to afford to buy anything from Papa John's. So they're likely, like everybody else, going to be closing up a lot of their establishments, if not their businesses altogether. We'll just have to wait and see how bad that gets, but I think that's what's coming. It's just going to be too expensive for people to buy. Even going to the grocery store is going to get to that point. We're at that point. I really do believe we're at the point that it's very soon going to take a full day's wages just to feed one person, just as the book of Revelation told us that it was going to happen. It's coming. It's almost here. So if she can't work with me on the schedule, then I'm going to have to just tell her I have to give you a month's notice. That's just all there is to it, because there are things that need to be done on my parents' property that they just simply cannot do. So I'm going to have to be the one to do it. It's the way it is. We need to get more chickens and we need goats. They can't, I guess they just aren't able to care for them. So it's going to fall on me. I have got to do it. So either way it goes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to live out there within either the next month. Like I said, if she can work with me on the schedule, I'll keep working. And I'll move out there within the next month. But if she can't work with me on the schedule at all, then I'm going to just have to leave the job and move out there and rough it. Make do with what I've got as best I can. I would suggest you do the same. Till next time, it never stops being important. All of these things I tell you are always equally important every day. They get more important every day, actually. Be in the Word, because you're going to need encouragement. And as David said, or the psalmist, one of them, said he encouraged himself in the Lord. Well, a lot of us are going to likely have to do that, encourage ourselves in the Lord. And the Word is going to be crucial for that. Be as well prepared as you can be. Get prepared as you can be, because now is the time to do it. And certainly don't stop praying for divine intervention, at least if nothing else for your family, because we need it every day now more than ever. Brother Ed, signing out with love.